The Aspern Papers is a novella written by American author Henry James in 1888. Originally serialized in the Atlantic Monthly, it has since become one of James' most renowned works, alongside The Turn of the Screw and The Portrait of a Lady. The inspiration for the novella stems from a series of letters exchanged between Percy Bysshe Shelley and Mary Shelley's stepsister, Claire Clairmont. Claire kept the letters until her death, and they eventually became part of historical records set in Venice. The novella employs meticulous character development to subtly cultivate suspense, distinguishing it from popular suspense narratives that often rely on rapid plot progression and common devices. The story begins with an unnamed narrator, the novella's protagonist, arriving in Venice with the hope of acquiring a collection of love letters written by the fictitious renowned poet Jeffrey Aspern to his lover, Juliana. Aspern had passed away a century earlier, leaving much mystery surrounding his life. The American scholar, who specializes in literature, aims to gain a deeper understanding of the inspirations behind Aspern's poems. The narrator's colleague had previously corresponded with Juliana, inquiring about the letters, and received a bitter response denying their existence. To obtain the letters, the narrator plans to deceive Juliana and visits the mansion where she resides with her niece, Tita. Introducing himself as a traveling scholar in need of a place to rest and study, the narrator offers his services to renovate the mansion and tend to the garden in exchange for accommodation. Initially uninterested in having a tenant, Juliana eventually agrees when the narrator proposes a significant sum of money to rent some rooms. This agreement brings great delight to the narrator. However, once inside the mansion, obtaining the letters proves to be more challenging than anticipated, as Juliana seldom leaves her bedroom. The narrator remains uncertain about whether Juliana's bedroom holds the coveted letters, and he has limited opportunities to search for them. Fearful that Juliana might destroy the letters before her death, the narrator abandons the idea of gaining her trust and instead focuses on befriending Tita, hoping she will intervene if Juliana attempts to dispose of the documents. However, tracking down Tita proves to be a challenge. Eventually, the narrator manages to establish a friendly rapport with her and gathers anecdotal evidence confirming the existence of the letters and Tita's knowledge of Juliana's relationship with Aspern. After several months, the narrator decides to reveal his true motive for residing in the mansion to Tita. Despite her love and respect for her aunt, Tita agrees to assist in saving the letters. Juliana offers to sell the narrator a small portrait of Aspern at a steep price, indirectly confirming his suspicion that she possesses the letters. A crucial moment arrives when Juliana falls seriously ill, hinting at her impending demise. Seizing the opportunity, the narrator enters her room in search of the letters, but to his dismay, Juliana and Tita enter unexpectedly. Juliana expresses her outrage while Tita rushes to support her before she faints. Overwhelmed with shame, the narrator leaves Venice for approximately 2 weeks. Upon his return, he discovers that Juliana has passed away and that Tita has retained the papers, albeit under the instruction to burn them promptly. Tita suggests that if the narrator marries her, he would become part of Juliana's family, making it acceptable for her to hand over the letters. Disgusted by the proposition, the narrator initially leaves the mansion once more, but he ultimately returns the following day to have a conversation with Tita. In their encounter, the narrator envisions Tita as a transformed, enchanting lover and contemplates marrying her. However, in a devastating turn, Tita reveals that she has burned each letter individually, a painstaking process that took hours. The narrator is left without ever discovering the contents of the letters, and the small portrait of Aspern, once intended as a prized possession, becomes an ironic symbol of consolation. Tita's cunning and loyalty to her aunt triumph over the narrator's deceitful tactics. The conclusion of the novella implies that the male protagonist was inherently feeble and disadvantaged, underestimating both Tita and Juliana as his intellectual adversaries. He mistakenly perceived them as fragile and easily deceived. Moreover, the ending reflects James's own apprehension about his legacy being scrutinized and exploited after his death, relinquishing control over his identity. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.